Our special guest for today is a dynamic duo from Studio Osmosis, a powerhouse of passion, creativity, and a dash bit of quirkiness that's sure to keep you guys glued to your seats or your earbuds. So, welcoming on the panel, architect and interior designer Shilpa Balwali and Sameer Balwali. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Salvinder. Thank you for having us here.
Also joining us on the panel is the beautiful Shibani Jain, who's an art expert and a designer herself. We welcome her on the panel. Shibani ji, welcome. How did you guys meet? What's the story behind? How did you guys decide to get into business together of architecture and interior design in totality?
I think I'll keep it short that I'll say that I've been following Shilpa ever since I met her in college. My eyes were just glued to her and I just kept following and following.
Should we put a hat in her?
We know each other for 25 years, I think, and
Yeah, more.
we've studied undergraduate in architecture together, and then I went for my master's in the US, and like he said, he followed me back there. So we studied masters at Texas A&M, and we actually worked there for a few years. And then the idea was that we wanted to come back and start our own practice, come back to Bombay, which is our hometown, Mumbai. And Studio Osmosis was actually something we thought of when we were in the US, and we said that this is what it's going to be, and we're going to come back home and do our own.
It's just exchange of idea, and I think the overall journey for these past 12, 13 years that we've been in since we started Studio Osmosis, I think it has been a very enriching one. Every project has been a learning step, and every project we strive to do something with the client which makes it feel like they are home, they are part of it, we are part of it.
Right. I was wondering, how do you emphasize on art, or how do you put it as a focal point in modern homes or contemporary homes for that matter?
Art is something that is very personal. What I might like is something you might not like.
You are specifically asking about homes, but I think as designers, we have to create art in hospitality spaces, restaurants, hotels, even hospitals for that matter. I think it really, really matters what art you are seeing visually when you are trying to get better and trying to feel better. And you definitely need something that's positive, even though your interpretations are different. But I think everybody needs some positivity from art. It could be related to a memory, it could be related to your own travels, it could be your own storytelling. It could be your own bonds with your relationships, your family. So there are so many of these emotions that kind of come back into an art.
Absolutely, I think art really sets the ambience of a place, the mood of a place, and it creates a strong connect to who you are as your identity, or it's just a story that you want to tell people.
Do you guys find it difficult? These days the generation is changing. Like if I talk about me, in fact my siblings who are much younger than me, we've sort of adapted a culture which is much casual in nature.
Not just today's generation, but I think in totality right now there is a lack of understanding of what our culture and our art is, and it's slowly, I wouldn't say dying, but it needs a sort of a revival. They are working with artisans to recreate traditional forms of art into modern
Yeah.
elements.
We have so many traditional forms of all these creative, genres,
Yeah.
and there are ways and means to bring it to connect back to whatever age group. And
Yeah.
like he said, that the awareness and the exposure is what we as designers, experts, collaborators are expected to sort of bring in and put it together. For example,
Correct.
you have digital art
Right.
now, which
Yeah.
has become such a big thing. So how do we take, digital art, the traditional forms, and sort of come at a platform where those things can be merged
Correct.
and created? Then these things can also always go back into AR and VR and so many other things. So
Absolutely.
I think there is going to be this collaborated platform that is required.
Now, you as designers, I'd want to understand how do you strike that right balance in minimalism?
I think minimalism is a very broad word. Our intention might be to be minimal. Eventually, what happens is consumerism sort of takes over and we start buying too many things. Given a choice, if it would have been our dream project and if we had a client who would have said, I want something minimal, yet it would be one art form, either a sculpture or one piece of art that would be in the focus of the entire space, and everything else just revolves around it. Everything else is just bare and bare shell. And I think that is what minimalism is.
There's one project where it was like a spa project, and they really wanted just one amazing piece of sculpture right in the center of their garden, which was big, but the sculpture also had to be very simple and very minimal, just good carving of stone. So we enjoyed doing that. It was fun because you really have to think how to create something so simple, keep it minimal, and at the same time have impact.
Yeah. And have that wow factor.
Yeah.
And now that we're talking about minimalism, it takes me to the opposite side of the grass also. You find a lot of hoarders also. तो वो hoarders के साथ आपका क्या repo रहता है all in all?
I think the balance is definitely important. You have to sort of identify what's of value to you in terms of memory, in terms of your bonding, your stories, like I said, and then you have to remove the clutter out.
Just to put that in general, percentage wise, how many clients of yours are like that who'd like to hoard a lot of stuff?
I would be revealing too many secrets, right?
Most of our clients will always say storage badhao or storage chahiye, because I think that is how innately we've also grown up seeing things being held back, value, sentiment, and there is a difficulty of letting go. Now, but on the other hand, if we talk about displaying things on the wall, some will say, no, I don't want too much because it's सफाई कौन करेगा और अरे इसमें इतना है तो इसको मेंटेन कौन करेगा. So and but on the completely opposite spectrum, we would be bowled over by clients who'll pick up art for the value of art, and they would appreciate it because it means something. I think Shibani will be better to explain what how it really goes in installing art or yeah.
But Shibani, so what do you call yourself in your personal space? I know Baya is obviously many things, but in your personal space, what do you call yourself?
That's a good question, because I don't think of myself as a hoarder. I think of myself as a collector. So I end up collecting stuff from everywhere. I have so many elephant curios, for example. I collect elephant curios. I have probably 400-500 elephants in my house. And then I have a collection of art that I have bought from different places, just street art. And I just have to buy. If I see some interesting street art, I have to buy it. So then it becomes a problem, how do I put it up in the house? But it's a collection, so I am just looking at nooks and corners and fitting it here, fitting it there.
We'll build a museum for you, so you can put all that art over there.
I've been telling Shilpa since I know her that I'm a collector, but she thinks I'm a hoarder. Because I have the same impulsive problem.
Yeah.
And if you come to our office or if you come to our place, there will be things that we've picked up, and there are things that I pick up. And then the things which I want to pick up, then there is no space for it. Where do we keep it?
And we all have our quirks, right? So I call myself a keeper. I love jewelry, which is kind of created in very, very unique ways, and from different rural areas, from different states, from different countries, and different materials. So everywhere I go, I pick up some sort of jewelry.
I doubt that, because every time I go to meet the duo in the office, I see table पहले ऐसे full jewelry से भरा रहेगा. The minute Shilpa is on a call and she'll come back and she'll wear everything and she'll be like, yeah, now tell me.
I feel like coffee on color, and I was a dog in the past. You forgot Studio Osmosis?
You called
it-
her a
is
cat,
it-
no?
is
That's
it-
the reason.